Okay. Playing a WOD from Andrea, I think it's R? Let me see. It says on the bottom left, Andrea Rocks. And she uploaded 5 maps for limit removing, and they all have a shared theme. And I think I'll do a little bit differently today. I might do a separate video for all 5. I'll see how I feel after the first map. I might just do one big video for all of them. So right away, I really like the silver on the pinkies. I'm still gonna call them pinkies, and how it works with the ceiling on the silver on the ceiling, and you've got the different textures going on the ceiling. Looks good. So right away, we already have. Oh, and by the way, for only a 5 map WOD, and you have like consistent setups for how to tell what door is what key, and it's not the basic setup. It's really, I appreciate it. So first map and second map have this sort of odd gameplay style where you might have Berserk, and there are a lot of pinkies, but you just have a weird assortment of weapons, is what I mean. Especially this map. Like, I have the plasma and the pistol. It's a very odd setup. So I do my best here, but I end up, taking a lot of hits and barely surviving. I think I've played something of hers in the past, or at least I've seen her on Doomworld. I think it was Stranded. I think that was what I had played from her. I'm not sure. Maybe it was something else. Yikes. That was a bit of a skill issue for my part. I don't know what I was thinking doing that. That was so stupid. Why'd I run out towards them instead of away? I should have moved back. They're hit scanners. But now I have 2 health. So it's like, okay, I really gotta stay back. Because if I get hit, I'm dead. Even if they low roll and hit 3 damage, I will die. But luckily that's the end of the level. Alright. This is what's going to convince me to do it all in one video. Look at the screen in front of you. And now when we move on to map 2, check this out. It's, oh my gosh, continuity? Alright, map 2 is really weird. I could be wrong about this, and maybe I'll check after. But once you get that blue key, I think you could just leave. I'm pretty sure you only need the blue key. I'll check that out after. But I'll hold that thought for now. Either way, I'm going for uvmaxes. I know in the Doomworld post there were a bunch of like extra challenges, like, oh, fast monsters, you get a special title. I just did uvmax. Maybe I'll come back to this another time. We'll see. Probably not. But if I do, I'll keep that in mind, that fast monsters are something that is designed with in mind. So if you can get past this first fight, then we have some decisions to make. And that is, what are we opening? This is like a real concept level, where you have these rows of doors and you get to choose which one to go down. It's a very simple concept, but it's also not one that I really see all that much. Now, I just have a very vague memory of, and by that I mean when I played this like an hour ago. I beat all of them today because it was uploaded today. That the items on the left, the doors on the left, tend to have the items, and the doors on the right tend to have the traps. So I went to the door on the left, and I got my super shotgun, and I think I got a key out of it. So, of course, we're going to explore the next area on the left. Oh, I've been calling it the left. I'm mixing up my lefts and rights because I'm viewing it from the wrong side. From the spawn point, the right side tends to be where the good things are. And the left side, which I'm on right now, tends to have the nasty things. Yeah, taking advantage of that chase range for the Revenant. Really like those pinkies, and you can tell Andre like the new look for the pinkies because they're used a lot in this WOD, arguably too much. And you can see the monsters get a little stuck in the doorway, which, I mean, I guess it's a glitch, right? It's the game being imperfect. But, I don't know, there's something about seeing the classic Doom 1, Doom 2 behavior that's a little fun. So, yeah, this arch file, a lot of those doors on the left have some sort of arch file trap, this being one of them. And in this case, I got hit by it. I almost died. I'll try to get a view of it, like those ceiling textures. Honestly, like in a vacuum, pretty lame. But they work well with the rest of the map. Because when you have a silver-themed level, having a silver-themed roof, it works. I'm not sure if this is Otex. It might be. Even if it is, I think, you know, Otex it's like a tool, you know? And you still need to be good at using that tool. How did he hit me? Alright, this is, I believe, the only two doorways that are connected. These two, basically they're the same room, but there's that barrier, which is interesting. Gameplay-wise, in terms of combat, it doesn't change much. Okay, this I should have just used... I should go for the plasma and use it. I don't know what I was thinking here. I think it's literally just that this was only like my second try or something, because these maps aren't super hard. So I didn't have them memorized from like 1,000 attempts. And there are, what, 4 or 5 doors here to look through? So of course I don't have every single doorway memorized and knowing exactly how much ammo I'll need. You know, that is something I want to talk about with Quake. For Quake, it always feels like I have the wrong amount of ammo. Like, I'll have hundreds and hundreds, well, not hundreds and hundreds, because you only can store 100. I'll have hundreds of shells, but then I'll, like, never have any of the nails. But the shells are just so weak, and then the nail guns are so strong. I think Doom does a way better job in terms of having weapons across the spectrum of power. You have the super shotgun, and this spawns in a vial, and I'm opting to collect the soul sphere first, which I totally forgot which direction it was, and then going for the vial. Oh, also the silver plasma. Nice touch. So, I have 2 things I want to do in my little post-game stuff. One of them is show off a key and an untextured wall, and one of them is just checking, hey, could you get by with only the blue key? Alright, so here's our only secret here. Yeah, a lot of this level must be optional. I gotta be honest, I don't know for sure, right? Maybe it's all those buttons that open stuff. Hitting that thing that I punched opens up this door with, I think it's a soul sphere. I like how it kind of looks like an armory with the different plasma guns. Alright, so that is going to be level 2. Right? Where are the other monsters at? What did I miss? No, there's a full other door here. Oh, I have to reset my my keybinds real quick. I have something. Here it is. I always have that on the left arrow. I was speeding it up so I could look for the monster quicker, but then I wasn't able to slow it back to normal speed. All right, so that's level 2. I was thinking about getting into 0 before exiting. All right. Now that's also a nice touch where the level ends and you see that shotgunner, because in level 3's start, there's a shotgun right there. Isn't that some nice continuity? Level 3 was really unique. Hey, just in case I could use it for healing later, right? Because there's enough ammo, you don't need the Berserk in this map. So what this map does, it starts off with a lot of chain gunners and imps, and like, what, 2 vials, but they're distracted? So then that sets you up to spawn in more vials, and they get distracted with all the stuff to resurrect. Also, there's another case of an early plasma or BFG, an early high tier weapon when I don't actually have a super shotgun. And I just think that's pretty interesting. Now, I also remember a time, I think it was Mount Pain, or maybe it was Doomkid. It was one of those two. I think it was Mount Pain. And he was saying that he doesn't like when maps give you like a weird weapon first and reserve the super shotgun for later. I kind of don't mind it for this type of level where it's shorter, it feels like a little mini challenge. Or if it's done well. I know that's vague and you say that about everything, but it's true. And I think it's done well here because look how many chain guns there are, right? You don't need a super shotgun here. Oh, and I appreciate the partial invisibility. I think another mapper might have just done a lot of shotgunners, because then you still get ammo, you still get a weapon, but then you have to fight them with the shotgun instead of the chain gun, which is just less interesting. I think it was a good use of partial invisibility. All of these little rooms have items in them. One of them has a rocket launcher. You don't get that many rockets in this map, but it's also a short map, so. Alright, so now that we triggered that first fight, we did everything. We got both keys out of it. Each key will unlock an ambush. I do it like really nicely here, where I fire early enough that I get both of them. Or maybe I just got lucky that the Archvile attacked early, so he didn't move. But what's supposed to happen is that they teleport to the spawn, and then you know, you got to go deal with them another way. See, they both teleported away there, so I have to go hunt them down. Vanilla vials are very slightly more threatening than your boom arch vial, because their fire is fully opaque. Okay, so we've got just a couple more enemies, and at this point I realized, oh, I don't have enough kills. I must have forgotten something. And then I remembered that I still have to press the switch on the other side, right here, by the other ambush. I don't know, this was a mistake, but I should have just used BFG. Oh, I did! I thought I didn't use BFG. Okay. That's map 3. Cool map. Okay. Is it now an okay time to just check out real quick? Comp level 2, warp 2, no monsters. Give key blue? Key... I actually don't know how to give myself keys. Alright, whatever. If I just had all the keys, could I open this door and then just leave? Yeah, okay. So as long as you have the blue key, you can just go. Alright, that's interesting. Alright, anyway. Oops. Anyway, let's continue down the path. Map 4. Again, really nice continuity. And this map's kind of interesting. You have this big, sprawling structure. Also, I like the gray outlines on the doors. It kind of signifies, hey, you don't need a key to open this. I like that. It's very clear. In some ways, this feels like a classic, like, Plutonia map, in terms of, oh, you need to go across like a dozen enemies to collect your gun. But also, not really. I mean, it's not that hard to get in this little zone. And we get our first secret. Alright, this map, I did mention it before, it has too many pinkies. Do I even think it's too many pinkies, or I'm just saying that? Nah, I think it's an appropriate amount. And I'll talk about it for when it's a big pinky horde and why I think it's okay. Maybe. Could have used some other enemies than that. So maybe I'm going the other way now. So yeah, I like to go to this room first because it's got a mega armor. As I've played more Doom, my appreciation for armor, especially mega armor, has only grown. Alright, so we've got the super shotgun, we picked up the rocket launcher, and we got our mega armor. I'm just gonna clean up these guys. I don't even know if this is like a thing that mappers have to do like intentionally, or Andrea did intentionally, but I didn't have any issues with monsters just wandering around being lost. Any of these maps, and especially on this one, it's quite nice. It's a very large map. It just felt like one where monsters could get lost, but I never had that issue. I wonder why they teleport, because in the first playthrough I did, they didn't teleport away. This is a fully vanilla gameplay mod. It changes the maps, and you know, it's limit removing. It won't work in DOS. But how did that zombie survive? But the Lost Souls are in fact your standard issue 100 health Lost Souls, as far as I can tell. Maybe I just took some bad shots at them. So this spot here is where the ammo can get tough. Now there is a plasma a little ways away, but I don't want to get zapped by the archvile. So my goal here is kill the pain elemental and try to get some of those bullets lying on the ground. Because we got to clear out enough space for ourselves so we can actually kill that vial and grab the plasma. Wait. Yeah, that vial is guarding the plasma rifle. Honestly, I could have taken the plasma rifle and just used the cover around the corner. So I could actually see, like, making this map harder and removing that cover where I was standing, and just making the player stand behind this cover by the Mancubus from the Archvile. Because that way, it doesn't feel like, oh, I need to make my safe zone. It's just, no, you need to use some movement. I could see that being a change, but I also know this isn't meant to be a super hard map set. There are like 2 or 3 times this shows up, and it's only a 5 map set, so I'm surprised it shows up this much. There are the 2 pretty long, like pinky wide hallways where it's like a couple enemies at a time. Uh, I I don't really, yeah. I think some of these monsters could have been cut because sometimes it's just tedious fighting them in the hallway like this. But you know, take that as you will, right? I beat the map set in almost one sitting, right? I have like 2 negative things to say. One being the hallway thing, and one just being, hey, there's a missing texture in one spot, and I'll point that out after. So you see that candle? I guess you can't see it, but it's right where the G in New Game is. That's a secret. If you press on the wall next to the secret, sorry, next to the candle, it'll lower the spot the Archvile is on. I think it should have an audio cue. It doesn't have an audio cue, but whatever. The candle is at least signposting it. And due to the placement, you could actually hit it from underground, not underground, but below where I assume you're supposed to. There isn't all that much use in doing so. You'll have ample plasma by the time you're over here, because you just got the plasma. But just saying, it's something you could do. I thought the Arachnotron usage was pretty solid throughout this. Even though I don't usually... Yeah, that door opens. Great. By the way, I wasn't like rubbing up against every single wall in the map, but she did a good job of putting it on like that wall near another switch. Just something of note. Like if you look at the map, there's just this massive area to the right. She could have put some hidden secret on some random pillar in the like 100 over there, and I appreciate that that is not the case. Instead, it was near a thing needed for progression in a smaller room. So yeah, I hit that candle, didn't hear the sound because there's no sound for it. Like, I appreciate the idea that if an area is so large that finding a secret in it is just unreasonable, it's kind of rude to put a secret there. And she chose to put it in a better area. Alright, this is that big wave of pinkies that I was debating whether or not was appropriate. And I think it's an appropriate amount of enemies, but why'd they all have to be pinkies? Because in my first attempt or so, I was doing this section, I didn't have the plasma ammo, so I punched them, and eventually they overwhelmed me. So it makes you do it in a more particular order, which I think I'm fine with. But it shouldn't have been like 100 pinkies or whatever. You put in like a couple Archviles, right? I think that would have worked well. And we got a couple hit scanners here. Nothing wrong with just zapping a bunch of hit scanners. at the end, especially with the mixed-in shotgunners. I don't know why, but I feel like mixing the shotgunners and imps works well. And here I do a little bit of super shotgunning instead of plasma, like I should. I'll just speed that up so we're not here all day. And lastly, now that we have that red key, or maybe it was a blue key, we can leave. All right. I do have to show off, unfortunately, there is a bit of a mapping error here. Well, maybe not an error, maybe an Easter egg. So, comp level 2, warp, what did we do? 3, right? I didn't show it off in the demo. I want to show it here. Is it this one? No, it's the next one. Okay. So this door that you start the level near has something to do with the ending of the last level. Great. But if you have all the keys, I, D, K, F, A, you can open it. And it's not textured. So I'm just pointing that out. Frankly, it shouldn't be openable. Or if it is, it should have a secret. All right. We just did map 4, right? Okay, we just did map 4. Now for map. All right, map 5, definitely the biggest. I know it says 572 monsters and it seems like a lot, but we'll get through it. It's quite a lot of hit scan, and there are like 200 zombie men in the last area, so it's not nearly as bad as it seems. I like this opening where there's a BFG and a bunch of monsters. And I've seen stuff like that where it's like, the monsters teleport away, haha. But no, they are legitimately over here, and you've got to deal with it somehow. And I did that by running away, getting the rocket launcher, getting the super shotgun, and then coming back here. So just like map 2, and even map 4 to an extent, there's a lot of choice in the order you do this. So this is like a giant grid map. It's got 2 different paths you can go, left and right, and they're not like, oh, you need to do the left to get the key and the right to get a key. It's just they have different stuff. Also, this is an interesting use of the infinite height mechanic, because there's an arch file in there, and one way to kill them is using the infinite height rockets. Rockets don't factor in vertical distance in their damage. Here's one of the secrets. I gotta be honest, I think I forgot that I had the super shotgun when I was in this room. Super shotgun. The BFG. Like, I should have just BFG'd those 2 arachnotrons, and instead I'm like, no, I have to fight the Mancubus one-on-one, close range. What am I doing? I think I literally just forgot that I had it. I think a lot of the like mini rooms in this are fine. The map might be a bit too big. I don't know. I like the exploration. Like all of it, a lot of it ends up being rewarding. And there's one part where you get a fully optional key. I don't know. I like when you get an optional key, and that optional key gives you a secret. Like this area was cool, especially with the return trip here with the specters and the arachno. I got this same feeling with Eternity. where I realized I wasn't in the area I wanted to be, but the door's locked, so I have to finish it out. I got the same feeling with Eternity, where the styles... I mean, it still looks like Doom, right? But it doesn't have that, like, dumb, grainy look that we're anticipating with all the, like, weird Doom textures like Fire Blue. And some of it's OTEX, some of it is using OTEX well. Might not be OTEX, but whatever the texture pack is. That it sort of fades and you're like, oh, this is the new normal. Look at that silver soul sphere. Looks so nice. You know, like when people say, I think they say good sound design, you don't notice it. I feel like that's true here. Alright, what was going on in this room? Why are there just zombie men? This would have been a good... Put anything in here. Put Archviles and Pain Elementals in this room. We have the BFG. There's cover. There's space. You could put a lot of big hitters here. Yeah, I think having all those, just 4 zombie men is a little bit of lost potential. I don't know what I was doing. Just shoot him with another BFG. If you're playing this WOD, there's more than enough cells. Just hit him with another BFG. But I wanted to be cool, I guess. So, what was I talking about? Oh. So, that room, it has the 4 zombie men. And if... Like, I was really paying attention. I like these, like, tiny covers, because they protect you from some things, but not... I don't know if they protect you from anything, actually. Maybe they protect you from the arachno, I'm not sure. Anyway, if I was really paying attention, I'd realize, oh, this room only has a couple zombie men. It's spawning stuff outside. And that's, like, where the challenge of that room comes from. Yeah, this is an interesting Cacodemon, Pain Elemental, Archvile inside the cage thing. And you know what? It works. It doesn't feel like a sniper Archvile or anything, because it's low to the ground. But it still has some area denial, and that's a good restocking area. See, this one I did correctly. I see an Archvile, just use BFG. Whatever. I have 174 health right now, okay? Let's see how low that gets. And this is why the 600 monsters is not that big of a deal. Like, we're killing a lot of them back. Okay, that was not nearly as bad as I thought. I still took a lot of damage, but it wasn't that bad. There's a Berserk and an Armor. Okay, so we've got some imps. Let's go to the yellow door. Really nice looking doors. And there's some vanilla Doom textures mixed in here. Oh no, I messed this part up, I remember. I should have just used... Oh, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna watch, I guess. I don't remember anything. No, it's these arachnotrons. There it is. It's a different arachno. That was a little rude. That was a little rude. That was a little mean. But okay, we have the Berserk, so it's fine. Nice shot. Alright, this is that other spot I was talking about. I mean, this one's like 2 pinkies wide. Why? I don't really understand this part. I think it looks cool with the, like, ladder-looking ceiling, but why do we have this giant pinky mega hallway. I know they look really nice in the silver, but it's too many. Maybe it's my fault for not using the cells, though it's entirely my fault for not using the cells, because it wasn't my first time playing the map. It was the second. Oh, did you guys see that? He didn't wake up when he took damage, because it's only like a 50% chance or something, I think. What is the rule for it? It's no pain state, and if you hit it on like the second idle frame? Okay. Which if you go through the weapon, it's actually fairly unlikely that happens. BFG would have too many tracers, you'll get pain state. Chain gun shoots 2 different frames, I think. Or something like that. Super shotgun, too many pellets, you'll get pain state. Alright, here's a backpack and some cells, making this area worth it. But hitting him with a splash rocket, okay, he's only getting hit by one thing. Whereas a direct rocket, he's taking 2 inches of damage, so he's quite a bit more likely. I'm curious what was going on here, like why it took a moment to open. Maybe it's like you just need to be close, and that's another condition. So at this point, I have the red key, so I'm like, okay, I need to go use the red key, and I have to go pretty far to get it. It's my fault for not memorizing the route, but, well, I didn't memorize the route, so I'm going to get very little use. That was a good use of my cells, by the way. I used up the 40, and then I took the energy cell pack. So, you can actually see I get lost for a little bit and use up the timer on my 30 seconds of invuln. So when I get over here, I am able to kill the vials, who are actually made less aggro than usual because they're placed in that like hallway thing. Basically, if enemies are bumping against the walls, they'll be less aggressive most of the time. And now this is where I make a stupid decision. Why am I engaging these enemies instead of getting more health? So, yeah, you could say it's my fault for not using the BFG on those pinkies because it wasn't my first playthrough. And I would say, yes, but also, when I'm not in that much danger, it feels a little bit wasteful to use BFG. Like, I totally get, you played the level, man. You know what's coming. You know you're gonna finish the map with way more cells than you need. Also, cool dragon. So, like, you need to react to that. And it's like, that's fair, that's fair. But also, when you just have that many low-tier enemies, it does feel a little wasteful to use BFG, and it could have been like a higher pressure situation. But with that in mind, I know I have a lot of BFG for the end, because I didn't use it on those pinkies, so I can really let loose. And I do. So let's go get some more cells. I'm going to speed that up so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. Yeah, you need red key for those cells. Oh, and you need the red key to get that invul. It was on the side wall thing. I didn't talk about that. But it was in that room with the other cells. It's actually pretty obvious, like this big skull switch. Yeah, this doesn't go up all the way until later. I'm not sure how you pull that off in vanilla, by the way. I mean, obviously this isn't like DOSBox vanilla. It's limit removing, which means it only uses mapping tools from vanilla, even though you're allowed to have much larger maps. And I know there's an art... Oh, look at that. Look at that red BFG. And there we go. That is the map set. That was really good. And then I just explore this area a little bit, but there's not really anything here, as far as I can tell. Oh, oh, wait, no, it says some stuff. I gotta see. I gotta know. Comp level 2 warp 6. I gotta know. What is in there? I just saw the text on the wall, and I hadn't noticed that last time. We gotta find out. What is this? Oh, press help to view honorific titles. Oh, okay. Now, okay. I'll post the yeah, she made like different titles if you do different challenges like UV max or UV plus or UV fast. So anyway, cool map set. Um, only complaints are that texture thing. I do think it's too many pinkies. So either like lower the pinky count or put in more monsters to justify using the BFG in the hallway thing. But I liked the silver and how it worked on all the monsters and a lot of the sprites, and it worked with the walls. And a lot of the maps had this theme where you can tackle them in different orders, and honestly, a lot of them are equally valid. If you want to get items in a particular order, you have that option, and you have to like fight to earn the different weapons and getting them in like a different order. There was a lot of stuff that was cool, and none of the secrets were like overly obscure, which for the types of secrets they are, I think that's good. I think if a secret just gives you items, it shouldn't be too obscure. If it's hiding like a secret exit or a secret fight, I think it could be a little more obscure. But anyway, that's it. It's already too long, so I'm gonna post the link to the map set in the description so you can find it. All right, I'm done.